All right, good morning. How is everybody doing today? Happy Thursday to everyone listening in. And hopefully, y'all have had some great success this week. We'll go ahead and get right into it and start off with our intro. So, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is September 16th, 2021. And let's take a look at our performance yesterday. We'll start off with the SPX, just to note that as we are getting into the end of the week, we started this week with a relatively expanded expected move for the overall SPX. We know that we came from a shorter 4-day week last week, and as the volatility started to rise into Friday selling, the volatility expanded to approximately 115 to 120 SPX points. Where we opened on the week, this set up sort of an expected move range of about 45.74 to 43.43 to the upside and downside respectively. Now, what we had yesterday is a relatively expected response from the market. We've seen this response before. We talked about expecting this response in yesterday's session, and ultimately we were just looking for clues for the market to do what it has done in the past, which is a pullback to approximately the 50-period moving average. We know that the SPY, or the SPY ETF, responds very well to this moving average, and ultimately we expect new demand to come back into the market and provide a bounce. Now, with regards to our expected move, we're still sitting pretty much flat on the week. We opened around we'll just call it we closed around 44.58. We opened somewhere around 44.68. And if you look at where we closed yesterday, we actually have a slight increase on the week. This can also be seen with something like a lower time frame chart, but higher than a daily, so something in between a daily and a weekly. We go to the SPY, adjust this, and just make like a 2-day aggregation period. We can sort of see what that structure looks like. We have a bit of a pin bar. The 20 period has adjusted because these are 2-day candles as opposed to one. And we see that the response of the bulls was fairly, I would say, invalidating of the Tuesday session. We engulfed it on the 1-day and we put in a pin bar on the 2-day. So moving forward, when we look at the market and we know that our expected move still packed in a lot of that volatility, one thing we could ask is, did the market reduce volatility and start to contract relative to where things were at the beginning of the week? This is easily seen when you have a close that is very similar to where we opened on the week, because we have less time overall, but we're still starting at the same price. So for the SPX, we know that on this week, this is a triple witching week, or at the end of this month. This 17 September has a lot of open interest. There's a lot of rollover, both contract option, index option, etc. There's a lot of movement coming into the next 2 weeks. And we just want to note that the marketplace has reduced some of this volatility. Within the next 2 days, we're looking at about a $41 expected move. So from our current price point, some of that risk has been moved in tighter, and that allows us to understand that while we started off rather wide, some of that risk has started to collapse. Now, as with everything, the market still has a lot of pent-up energy built into the option market, and we will see some of that on Friday, possibly today and Friday. But overall, the reduction is notable and worth mentioning, as we've had some decent volatility in the overall market. Now, from a technical perspective, we can simplify things a bit more and just take a look at where we've come from. And now that we have a fairly solidified bottom, we can understand what some possible scenarios may be moving forward. What I'll do is just reduce the time frame to something like a 30-minute and simply start to look at some very simple tools. One thing that we often like to refer to in regards to the crypto markets, but also applies across all markets, is something like a Fibonacci. And just looking at from high to low, we can understand that the market may have defined this range for a period of time. So the response from the lows will often help us understand some probabilities as to whether we expect this low to be breached. Obviously, that would go against the daily trend, and any downside seen from that would have to be supported by the previous swing low. Or we could just say that this is a low and the trend may continue. For that to happen, we would like to see the bulls have a larger than expected response from low to high. And with Fibonacci, you often want to just look at a few key areas. Something like the 38.2 on the bounce often provides not enough, I would say, confirmation and conviction for the dominant direction to be breached. And oftentimes you'll see structures like bull and bear flags forming around the 38.2 extension. So if you get a pullback, regardless of whatever the direction you're looking to validate, that 38.2 sets up as an area of interest for the next round of buyers or sellers. If you get something like a 50% retracement, the marketplace can often start to form the potential for a lower high or a lower low, but often this leads to a bit of back and forth action. Basically, because it's a 50% retracement, the marketplace is a bit indecisive, and often you get that range existing for a period of time, some value zones being set, and then from there, you're looking for breaches of your highs or your lows, or ultimately a breach away from the highest value nodes. Something like VPOC within that range, if it breaks bullish, you often are looking to target the high end of the range. And of course, if it breaks bearish, you target the low end. And then, of course, the 61.8, this is where bulls like to see the market push to, because it gives them a lot of room on something like a lower high to form a higher low and potentially reverse this shorter term trend, setting up for the next round of possible move to the upside. So these sort of three key zones within the range are often what we want to look at. And because we have this first bounce point, this is where the bulls need to essentially step back into the market and prove that we are still in a daily uptrend. We've seen some significant selling. The selling has been different from other previous selling events due to the lack of overextension. Often these larger selling events have led to gap downs that have been bought aggressively. This is a little different. We're actually anticipating the bulls to spend some time and rebuild the structure here. Or if we lose this low, we know that our next swing low is a possible target. So some other nuance to also look at is each of our index products has defined some upper ranges that the marketplace has lost in the selling. Something like the previous SPY high-end range, we can look at these as possible upside targets. These often coincide fairly well with those 61.8 extensions, and that would be a moment to anticipate the bulls testing this low side support turn resistance, along with setting up the potential for a higher low after a lower high. And often people call this equilibrium or some sort of trend reversal structure, depending on how it sets up. And of course, the same idea applies with the NASDAQ. I've actually gone ahead and drawn some of the structure here, but you can see that the NASDAQ, due to the fact that the pullback wasn't as significant, has already begun this process. We note that on yesterday's rally, not only did we not have a lot of significant selling prior, we actually held some previous lows on something like a 1 or 2 hour chart. Depending on your time frame, these are technically test candles, and ultimately we never really broke down from this area. Additionally, the response from the bulls has been to backtest this previous low, which offered some upper range support. You can see this support being confirmed a few days later. So the QQQs are doing precisely what we think the SPY might be wanting to do next. The NASDAQ was in a posture of relative strength in regards to the lack of selling pressure, and from a technical perspective, had a better chance of getting to this support turn resistance and ultimately testing it on yesterday's session. It actually was a target for the bounce. So if you were trading yesterday and trading in the NASDAQ, you were looking at this upside target as your final target for the market to hit. So moving forward, we want to maybe consider this analysis for markets, and regardless of their position in the overall trend or lack thereof, these are some ideas to carry forward. If you're truly convinced that a low has been set, then obviously the market has a few choices moving forward. It can set that low in some sort of oversold condition. Usually it sets it once and then moves away aggressively. If the selling was a bit more powerful, we may get something like a double bottom or a higher low, something where it's basically coming to reconfirm the significance of that low. And those responses are going to be more powerful because if it truly is a low, we expect new bullish demand to come in and test higher price levels. And then, of course, if none of these come to fruition, the response from the bulls and the fact that we can't set higher lows or double bottom supports will lead into either bear flags or just pullbacks, whether they be 50%, 61.8, or even rejections near all-time highs, and then follow through that lower high on the daily and breaking trend. Now, IWM and the Dow are in different postures. We know that the IWM's best risk to reward management has been buying the range low, selling at VPOC or range high, and then flipping it, selling at range high, profit taking at VPOC or range low. So every time we get these movements through the IWM, we simply want to see what is the response from the move, and on pullbacks, can we get VPOC to hold as new support? You want to think about this entire range here as the potential for the market, and something like VPOC, which is holding at 50% currently, this is where you want to see new bullish demand setting up the potential for this market to trend and ultimately to get out of this range for the first time in a year. And then, of course, the Dow, our weaker trending market, but still holding some relative support zones, seeing that bounce on the trend line. Obviously, trend line's a bit rough. It's not a perfect indicator. It's not something that you want to see price tag to the penny, but it's an area of interest. And the marketplace here has already set a lower high, breached a relative low, but in this structure, we see price compression. It's different. It's structurally interesting for us. And ultimately, if the market is weak, a lot of these buyer setups, these structures that should be holding as support, will start to break down. And that's where we can really see more fear-based selling. So far, that has not occurred. So these are the scenarios moving forward. We have a week with additional volatility packed in. We want to note that with triple witching, there are some day trading opportunities as the market gives us a bit more range often to play with. But additionally, this volatility can come out of nowhere. Oftentimes, the rolling events are timed approximately near the power hour of Friday, but some of this can occur mid-session. And when you're trading, you may see some of that volatility erupt out of nowhere. That rolling event occurs, whether it be to the upside or downside, and then ultimately it may cease for a period of time as that particular rolling event has finalized. All right, so because it's Thursday and because there really isn't much else to comment on, outside of maybe the fact that with this buying event, we want to keep in mind that there's still a couple of risk indicators going off. The VIX has not really compressed as much as we would like to see on something like that oversold bounce. That's usually where you get these larger VIX sell-offs, especially into the Friday session. So if that occurs, especially into a roll for the market, that would be notable. But if it doesn't occur, that also is notable. Bears may once again step in and try to breach this low. Bond market still remains elevated above 150. Worthwhile to consider that this may be some sort of move away from range. We have held this area essentially to the penny within a couple of cents here. And so far, bulls have stepped back into this market. That has pushed yields down slightly, albeit the setup is the opposite as we're breaking down and forming some sort of 3-bar play. So with all that said, you know, there's still some risk in this market. We know that there's some news headline risk with regards to Evergrande. That situation will form over time, and the market's response to it will be what's most relevant to us as traders. We also just want to quickly cover crude and natural gas. Crude had a nice sort of breakout on yesterday's session. We know that crude had been selling for a while near our notable monthly level. We're talking about a level that has been respected for multiple inflection points back in time, the 77 per barrel. That came off of some double bottom low that breached but had no follow through. And so far the response has been positive throughout this range. We want to keep this range in mind. This is sort of our playing area in regards to crude, and we're simply looking at swing highs within this range, often off of response lows. Natural gas, same idea, albeit in breakout mode. Let's see if I can get it to load. Natural gas is putting in that potential for short-term consolidation. We want to look at the fact that we are extended on multiple time frames. And the context here is that while we still have a very bullish chart, this chart may need to pull back in response to the significant overextension away from moving averages and coming into resistance zones not seen in a couple of years. So lots of opportunity. Dollar relatively flat. We just note that the head and shoulder concept still remains. Bit of a bullish move on yesterday's session in the dollar. Odd to see that on a bullish response. And ultimately, this head and shoulders can easily be invalidated if we start to breach the left shoulder. And finally, yeah, with gold and silver, I think these metals and specifically the commodities market, they are waiting for additional information. Gold has sort of led in regards to the dollar strength. You can see the selling pressure here in gold, and silver, our laggard metal that we are watching, seeing some of that selling as well. So an odd bag of risk in this market with a bullish response on the S&P. These are concepts to carry forward, and ultimately if you're trading this bounce, you need to be aware that the market is not in the all clear. Oftentimes there are very obvious, I would say, reduction of risk indicators on bounces, And so far, we have not seen them yet. So keep that in mind and note where your risk is. This market has set a very specific level, and ultimately how we test that level and how we move forward will matter for the next round of trend. All right, so last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and take a thing of water. I want to talk about what occurred yesterday in regards to a particular stock. If you were in the BBT chat room yesterday, a lot of trading activity occurred in the morning session on the ticker INDP. And there's very good reason for that. There's plenty of volatility in pre-market. We have a very simple pullback structure with a stock that is trending, and it's coming into moving average support on significant pullbacks leading to new highs. Obviously, easy to say in retrospect, and obviously for those who took advantage of this morning volatility and obviously made good profit, congrats. The stock had a lot of opportunity, and we traded it quite well, both in the early 15 to 30 minutes, along with some previous future breakouts, like some bull flags and things like that. But what I'm less concerned about is the opportunity in the stock, and what I want to talk about is the risk. Whenever we were looking at the stock in the chat room, I was speaking with one of the moderators and just commenting on how stocks like this are less common than most newer traders think. These opportunities are great when they're here, but ultimately the risk is baked into the volatility, with the fact that the stock is giving opportunity in both directions. Traders to the long side are looking for confirmation. Traders to the downside are looking for weakness, constant battle back and forth, and ultimately there's winners and losers everywhere. But what I want to really note is, as this stock topped on yesterday's session, there were potentially some traders looking at the next round of pullbacks. They were thinking the stock has made a new swing high. We're looking for another pullback, and we want to see how far can that pullback go. Is it going to set a lower high, or is it going to make a new swing high? Is momentum going to continue, et cetera, et cetera? And when you're looking at this chart, you want to think about it in the context of the time that it is occurring. You want to scoot things back and pretend like you're seeing this as it forms. There are different traders in here that trade these patterns differently. If you're a trend trader, you're looking for pullbacks, you're looking for confirmation near buying zones, and those confirmations allow you to define your risk, to ultimately look for new momentum and demand, bringing the stock back into previous highs. You're profit taking at swing highs, and ultimately the stock gives you extension beyond a previous swing high. You're hopefully holding for some of that and looking for another round of pullback to add into your trade. Obviously, momentum traders are doing something similar. They're maybe looking for a bit more confirmation within a swing high and a pullback low, and expecting the stock to break out. They're buying into strength and ultimately forcing the price higher. They're actually one of the beneficiaries of pullback traders and the like. They both complement each other very well. But what happens when a stock often puts in a significant top is you will start to see pullbacks or even shorter term entries, things like response highs near previous swing highs, start to fail. And as the stock continues to sell, we often are looking at intraday indicators like VWAP. So all I have to do here is add VWAP onto my platform. It's not going to be perfect due to the settings of this chart, but VWAP was somewhere around 19 to 20 as this pullback was occurring. And when you're looking at this in the moment, it can look as if it's starting to set up. It's starting to bounce off of this area. It's 20 psychological. There are some previous buying demand that occurred here. And even if you're targeting just a bounce, you're not going for all-time highs, you need the response here to be appropriate. You need to define your risk here and ultimately understand when the stock fails the setup. As the stock broke down, the structure of buy setup starts to change. The idea here is that into weakness, you can still be a buyer. Obviously, if you're shorting this, this is where shorts are really starting to pile in. Depending on if you had short inventory, this could have been an opportunity. Could have been, of course, here or here. But everything is starting to shift at this point. And depending on who you are, depending on how you trade, and depending on your risk management, if you see your setups fail, you need to understand that these stocks, the way that they're structured is that we don't fully know if the buying demand is remaining within the price. We don't fully know if the support zones that we have defined back through the move to these new price levels is still there. Is it still supporting us? Is it going to provide a bounce point? And even if you're the type of buyer who's buying into weakness, you can find moments of pullbacks, very short-term corrections in the overall downtrend that has now formed. But what I'm referring to most carefully is the fact that this stock doesn't owe you anything in regards to pre-market highs and pre-market lows, doesn't owe you anything in the morning range, it doesn't owe you anything in the previous bull flag. The stock will do whatever it needs to do to find demand and supply balance and ultimately to find new value after a move has completed. When we looked at this stock yesterday, we noted that it is nice to have such a great morning runner, something to profit from the long side. If you shorted this stock, it's great to have that secondary opportunity into the afternoon. But when you're thinking about the trading style as the stock evolves, and if your risk management is not one to where you get out when your setup fails, this stock is one that can severely hurt you as a trader. One thing I did yesterday afternoon after speaking with mods in the chat room about the fact that this stock was unusual in terms of its opportunity, but into the afternoon we talked about, I bet no one thought that this stock was going back to 10 today. I bet no one thought that this stock couldn't bounce at 20, at 15, at 11. Everybody thinks that they know where the bottom is and gets in, and then when it loses that low, they remain in, they add, they average down, they get too heavy, they start to lose their psychological focus, they start to validate the fact that the stock was so strong, it has to bounce, it has to recover. There's still demand here, there's supply, there's some sort of support structure. This is just a false breakdown. It's going to come back. I'll add, I'll get heavier, I'll get more shares, and as soon as it gives me a bounce, I'll get out. I promise. I won't do this again. That fear, that uncertainty, that feeling of despair, these are the stocks that provide them. These are the stocks that hurt you if you don't know where to get out. And ultimately, one of the things I did was I went on Twitter yesterday. I just typed in this ticker and I started reviewing how people were either successful or not throughout this stock. You can hear the sentiment shift. You can hear the differences in, wow, what a great opportunity. Triple bagger, made my week, made my month, whatever it happens to be, or I blew up my account. I am no longer able to trade because all of my capital is gone. These are the things that we as day traders have to remember. This is a game of capital preservation first and foremost. If you were unsuccessful in this stock, and depending on how unsuccessful you were yesterday, this is a moment to reflect on the fact that the market owes you nothing. Market doesn't care who you are. Market is about finding buyers and sellers to transact and finding value in between these price levels. So keep that in mind as we go into today. There is a watch list of a lot of high volatility stocks today. IRNT is a stock that we saw yesterday. It is one of our gamma squeeze potential stocks. Looks like a lot of opportunity to me, but keep in mind what we just discussed. Stocks like Apron started to break out yesterday, sort of a low float runner. Stocks like Any. These are all stocks that have the same characteristics. Don't be the type of person to do what happened on INDP yesterday and trust something farther than it is giving you opportunity for. Allow it to set up, allow it to define your risk, and if it breaks those areas, those price levels, whatever it happens to be, get out. So keep that in mind. My name is Jared. This is Engineering the Market. Trade safe, and as always, be prepared for tomorrow with triple witching and the volatility included. We'll talk more next week. See y'all soon.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Market Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. I hope you had a great day yesterday as well. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today? I can hear you, brother.
Sorry,
There we
my
go.
bad.
Oh,
Good
oh,
morning.
good.
How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. The room can't hear me. Let's double check this here. Let's turn this on. Can you guys hear me now?
I see the lines up top.
Okay. Here we. That is strange.
Now you turned it off. Now you're
So I
back
click
on.
on it.
Yeah.
And it's turning off on its own. I don't know what is happening. Let me do this,
Now they
guys.
can.
Quick.
I think they can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. So there, my mic disappeared. Can you guys still hear me?
No, they can't hear you now. Just me.
no.
Now we're gone. Test. Give us a second on YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah. So we're getting yes and
You
no.
guys are probably. I don't. Can they hear you now?
It seems
No.
like
Now you're
yes.
off. I'm going to reset the audio bridge. I
Yeah.
know that
Let's do that.
throws a
Yeah.
wrench in it sometimes for you, but you do what you got to do. I'll do that. On YouTube, just a heads up, you guys are going to act, you're not going to notice anything going on, but we've got to fix the room real quick. So give us just a second.
All right. Excellent. I refreshed and this should be good now. All right, we'll get the mic on now, see if that... All right, guys, we're back after refreshing everything. Hopefully you can hear us good now without cutting out and no choppiness. And it looks like the mic is staying on this time. So
All right.
looks like we are good. All right, guys, let's rock and roll. All right, guys, again, I hope you guys had an amazing day yesterday, are having an amazing morning today. Let's take a look quickly at some of the stuff we had on our list, starting with CAN was one that was on our list yesterday.
Before we jump into that, just a reminder over on YouTube, hit those likes for Jared. It helps out the channel a lot and shows appreciation for him getting up early every morning to do that for you. So thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. He puts in a lot of work into all the information he's giving you guys. Let's take a look at CAN yesterday. Let's look at our 5-minute here, give you some intraday action. And actually, if it was not for AMC, which took a lot of our attention yesterday, with the way it was dropping, it's just a beautiful opening on that one. This one actually did very well, and it's crazy because I thought they had positive news, Norm, right? I'm not sure what it was, but they were gapping up yesterday, and just at the market bell, they just gave it all back here. Look at this insane drop. So if you're watching this one, this could have been a great short on CAN. Here is HUT, which again was just pure garbage. It really didn't do anything. Should have not been on our list. LVS, LVS and Wind didn't really do a whole lot, right? Their second day here after such a big drop yesterday. Yesterday their market open was rather weak, and I mean weak as far as volume and movement. It just didn't do a whole lot, so I didn't pay attention to those, which gave us all the attention over to AMC, which it was again just in a beautiful opening range breakdown on a 5-minute. I think all of us, I don't want to say all of us, but I think the majority part of us took this trade here with Andrew for a short. So we got in here for a nice short, and this thing just dropped all the way down to $44 and change, almost to, again, just perfect trade there. And then many cover here, and then they took it long with Andrew as well, long towards the VWAP. That was a nice little bounce there, nice V reversal, which is not an easy strategy to trade, right? It could be a lot of false breakouts on that, but yeah, it did trade very nice, and it gave you a nice continuation later down the line. As to try to test the low of the day, but it could not. Apple also was very nice, guys. Beautiful drop here as well. You can see here at the bell, rejection, and then comes right back down. Nice opening range breakdown on the 5-minute, and you got the continuation, which we have not seen in many stocks, over the last couple of weeks, right? We're not getting this great continuation. You saw that on Apple yesterday, did find a base, and eventually came back towards the VWAP, and then recovers right back to where it opened up. So a lot of action on Apple yesterday. Microsoft was just pure chop. It's just really not tradable until later parts of the day, when it did find a nice base here at 302 and then took off from there. So that is what we had yesterday, guys. Let's take a look at our watch list, our gappers list this morning. A lot on both sides of the field. A couple of low float here making a lot of noise, like IRNT, which actually is not a low float, but you might as well treat it like one because that thing is wild. And we'll take a look at what else is moving there. And in the downside,
once again, just a reminder, don't trust the float that's on Trade Ideas, because I've seen 3 or 4 different float amounts on that ticker.
Yeah. Treat it like a low flow, guys. Take the worst case scenario. I'm treating that thing like a very low flow stock. It could, because it's moving like one, Yeah. So, all right, let's head over to the market pulse and see what's going on for today and the rest of the week.
Yeah, so I mean, the vast majority of data dropped right when we were coming on at 8:30 Eastern. It was initial jobless claims came out a little bit higher than expected. Continuing claims came out lower than expected. Retail sales and retail sales ex autos, from what I saw, came out better than expected. And then the Philly Fed manufacturing index also came out at 8:30. 10 a.m. we've got business inventories. You can see the market took a quick little reversal there at 8:30, right when all that data came out. So we'll see if that holds. As we've discussed recently on the SPY, we have been down quite a number of days now. So if you put it on a daily and zoom in, we've been down multiple days. Really, the last up day we had was back around September 2nd. So, yeah,
we'll see where this takes us, guys. But yeah, well, should be interesting today. Let's see where the market goes. It's trying to get a little bit of a bounce here. We'll see if that's going to do anything this morning. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's remove our watch list from yesterday. Control A here. If I do this right, Control A, Control X. And let's come up here and look at our list for today. We have TMC leading the way here. This one is up 47%, Recent IPO, I only have 4-day history here. Let's see if I can go back anymore. Yeah, just
Yeah,
4 days.
it just recently de-SPAC'd. So I don't have a whole lot of info on it. I believe it's a Wall Street Bets Reddit play. So these companies that have just recently de-SPAC'd can be quite volatile.
They sure can. You can see that here in the price action, guys. Some of these candles going from 13 to 14, 15, if that is actual transaction. Sometimes these 8 o'clock moves, there's just stuff being transacted and recorded. But either way, you can tell by the price how tight these numbers are. It can move quite a bit. So could be interesting for a possible scalping opportunity. I'm going to put this down. I know it's not a low flow stock, but the risk here is a lot higher for several reasons. You don't have a lot of information on here. It is definitely in play. I mean, it has 5 million shares being traded right now. It's up 47%. So it is one that is at least active, worth taking a look at. I'm going to put it down here. Again, don't get confused. It's not a low flow. It's showing 199 million shares float. But again, we just got to... Yeah, it's not moving like that. We just got to be careful with this one. So OPAD this morning, APOD. This one is also moving very similar to TMC. I mean, they're almost identical pre-market action, right?
Well,
I mean, just look at this, right?
This is another Wall Street Bets play. I'm going to say it once again. I don't know why this is the case right now. Usually we can find a thing or two where it's the case, but
right.
Float data on this, FinViz, for example, says 17.6 million, and it's just shy of 59 million on Trade Ideas. This is it's got the short float is way different as well. FinViz short float 30.5%, and 9% roughly on Trade Ideas. So it is not moving like 60 million share float. No. It's moving like a much lower float. So just be mindful of risk on those.
Yeah, I definitely like that 17 million on this one, more than that 59 for sure. It just looks that way. So again, another one, guys, you see great volume on it right now. Let's put it back here. We'll come back to these two. IRNT was just wild yesterday. I mean, this thing took off at the market open. Right over here, took off, gave you a nice opportunity here. They get halted and just slams down later in the day. And Brian mentioned this, that this stock was going to be one that was going to come back eventually later in the day, and it did. You can see here it came back, tested the highs of the days there, and then it slammed back down, kind of just chilled around 20, 28 or 29 or so. Then right before the bell, it decides to just start this run to 32 and continue all the way up to 42. So that is just wild there. You did get a lot of action. This is after hours yesterday, right? So after the bell. And then this morning, the pre-market, we hit as high as 62. Guys, this stock opened up yesterday at $24, and that was already gapping up quite a bit. So definitely very active. I don't know about today. I think the fun might be over on this. It's just a technical damage done on this daily. It's all over the place. So if you are going to be trading this, be very, very careful. We obviously do not have any shares for sure. But again, I just don't know if it has the strength to get back up here after, doing such a big move. So careful. It is active. It is going to be one that people are going to be looking at. I'm going to add it on here. It does have 3.5 million shares traded. It is still very strong at 35% this morning. But again, just be careful. INDP also very active yesterday. Today we're seeing some activity as well. Again, we got a lot of these lower flow stocks in. I'm not sure if all in play, but definitely active. I'm going to add this one on here. We can dissect this a little bit later. In the meantime, let's move on down to AGIL, AGIL this morning. Not looking good. Horrible pre-market action. Just don't like everything on here. Also, type lower flow stock at 26 million. We need to see more action than that. BKSY, that does not look good. Let's move on down. DNMR also doesn't look great, guys. And again, if you're new, we'll look at the pre-market action. It's just nothing happening here. The daily shows nothing really exciting. I mean, there's some volume they had yesterday. Aside from that, if you look at the regular daily, what's this, 100K? Maybe 500,000 shares being traded on a given basis. That's not good enough for us. And right now, just the volume, only 100,000. ADAP, horrible. And HUT was just a mess yesterday. I won't even look at this for like 2-3 more weeks. I mean, it's just traded so bad. We have EA on here, and EA usually does not pop up unless there's something going on. They had a big drop yesterday.
It's a block trade, buddy.
Oh, it's a block trade. Okay, so no good. We'll skip on this.
Yeah, it's trash.
Yeah,
Of the
it's not looking great.
515,000 shares, 510 of them traded all in the same transaction. So
Yeah, it's not gonna do it. Here's life. Not much going on there. Again, they give you some fun a couple of days here. Outside of that, it's just been very choppy the last 2 days. Let's see what's capping down. SBSW. Is this a South mining something?
yeah,
It is.
this is
Yeah.
garbage. This
Yeah.
is a South African mining company. Usually trades terribly.
Yeah, so no love for that there. KPLT. Also, I mean, we had this on. we talk about this ticker every day. Comes up in the gappers list here and there, but it is extremely a horrible ticker. So I'm not gonna spend no time on that. Here's Annie. Annie was fun a couple of weeks back. I remember this thing taking off here. It gave us a couple of days where it has some great volume. Right now they have 1 million shares traded, but I gotta tell you, this 1 million doesn't look good in this pre-market activity. They did well yesterday as far as ending the day green, and that breakout just really came out of nowhere here. It looks like 11:30ish or so. You got a nice little breakout. And did trade well after that. I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect on this one. Maybe a possible. Let's see if this pre-market can get a little bit better. They do have 1 million shares traded right now, down 3.8. AG is a stock that we've seen quite a bit here, guys. Does not intraday trade very well. I'm gonna skip on that one. Wind is on here, but man, yesterday it was just pretty bad. They're down 3% today, 158,000. They had a great day, a great intraday trading day here. Yesterday was not great. I don't expect today is going to be any fun neither. So I'm going to keep it off my list this morning. ATER was very active a few days back. They're up. They're down 3.6. I just, again, don't see anything great here. We'll skip on that one too. Be Big. I know some of you guys like this one. I hate this stock. This stock is just, and I haven't traded it. And I won't try to. It's just horrible. Look at the action yesterday. Every candle overlapping the previous candle. It's just a really bad trading stock. Nathan, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Really appreciate you there. Again, just the continued support on a daily basis, man. Appreciate you very, very much. As we
Ninja Fox.
Yes, exactly. As we continue to support the charity of the month, curing cancer for kids. So thank you so much for that. Dollar by dollar, we matched by Andrew. So that's $10 going to the charity of the month. Thank you so much. Okay, let's stop over here. I'll look at LVS just because it's here now. But again, also very similar to Wind, guys. It's just not doing a whole lot right now. Norm, anything you like in your area at the moment?
Still looking, bud.
Good.
You know, I'll tell you today, and it was much like yesterday. The market's not been great overall to find a ton of stocks moving well, but if you pick the one or two that are right, you can have a really good day like yesterday on a couple of them. So,
I agree. Our list yesterday was it was not great. I mean, a lot of stuff on there was horrible. But we found that one awesome, AMC trade. And if you did, when I watched AMC, was another one that traded very well too. I forget the name of it now. There was two that actually did very well. Apple was a nice short.
INDP, wasn't it?
Yeah, INDP also was very clean. So again, it's just got to be patient when that bell rings, and wait for good setups. Don't force anything. All right, guys, let's take it to the room. I'm going to start over here with. Let's see where we are. Scroll up here. Roboto, you're giving us CEI. No. This is more of a penny type stock. Yeah, not a fan of this one. You have LOLs on this. You're probably making fun of this stock and actually recommending it. So I'm with you there. All right, Facebook next. Let's take a look here. Facebook. I mean, I don't think it's really. Oh, that's FB. I was going to say, wait a minute. This looks horrible. Here it is, Facebook. Let's take a look. Facebook. There we go. All right, Facebook right now. It doesn't look like it's in play. Interesting day yesterday, but Apple did the same thing, guys. We had this huge drop and this great recovery. Apple, it looks like, what was that?
There's no volume and no
gap.
There's
no volume today at all. So again, no gap. I don't think it's in play. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. Microsoft was really bad yesterday, man. I know it gapped up, but it was so bad to trade unless later in the day got a little bit better. Right now they're down slightly, a little bit of volume. This is actually great volume for Microsoft. Maybe they're trying to go back down here and close this gap. And I'm going to remove all these levels that are driving me crazy. Maybe they want to go back down and close this gap, this small gap here. Not sure, but I don't really like what I'm seeing on it right now. BYND, what do we have going on? We have not looked at this in quite some time. and they're down 3% right now. Not a whole lot of volume, guys. I mean, they're dropping quite a bit here. I just don't see a whole lot on BYND at the moment. So I'm gonna skip on that one for now. Apple, what do we have going on Apple here? Let's take a look at Apple there. Give me 1 second, guys. I forgot to turn this on over here. Just 1 sec. Here we go. Greg, thank you so much for that super chat, man. That $20 bomb, appreciate you very, very much. That's going to help a lot there to send $40 over to the charity of the month, match dollar by dollar for Angelo. Thank you so much for that. Yes. Appreciate the support, man.
Thank you, Greg.
Appreciate that. All right, so let's look at Apple. Apple, I think it's one that you can keep an eye on. Their volume 650. I mean, they've been dropping pretty nicely here. They're trying to recover a bit of 147. It's more of a possible, right? It could do something. RSI this morning. Wait, did we go through our entire gappers list and I did not add anything on the main list? That's right. I just noticed that there's nothing up here. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. RSI guys, daily doesn't look great.
Hopefully the chat or YouTube can come through and throw us something awesome that we just overlooked.
Yeah, I'm hoping that as well. RSI right now, again, I don't like the daily on this one. Volume is very light though, guys, 119. I know they're breaking out of this 17. That looks interesting for a possible continuation, but their volume is so light. And even if you look at their daily, I don't expect this stock to be great because their overall volume is extremely light. Even on a day like yesterday, when it went from 15 to 17, they did it on 6 million shares. And when you look at a stock that's trading 6 million shares for the entire day, their volume, their price action is just really, really bad. You can see that here. Look, the whole day did nothing, right? You're not going to watch something like this all day and expect this breakout to happen. You know, you wait for the scanners to bring this up to you. You know, you're not going to sit around waiting for the potential of this taking place again today. I mean, it's just not something I would do, at least. I wouldn't do, at least. We looked at Facebook. I don't think it's really in play right now. LSID at the moment, 481,000. They're slamming up against a nice area of resistance right on here around 2050. That looks good. Possible breakout there and a continuation. Maybe a possible, guys. Maybe. This has traded well in the past. We've seen some good action on this one. Oh no. Yeah, when you hear the oh no is it's pretty bad. BKSY. Yeah, we looked at this earlier. I don't like this at all. Volume is extremely light. The daily, look at the daily. I mean, just look at this here, and then just this volume is just no good. GS, no volume on GS, guys. 6,000 shares traded, no good. Facebook, we have LSID, we have OPAD, we have down here, we have all these guys. Just a reminder, these are not all showing as low flow stocks in trade ideas, but we recognize them as very risky type stocks, so we have them down here to review later. You got to be careful with them. Starbucks this morning, is there any news on Starbucks? I don't see them doing a whole lot right now. So yeah, they're not down, they're pretty much flat at the moment. Again, kind of deal with the overall market. Look at the drop yesterday. It's just kind of, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, they're down from yesterday if you're looking at that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you very, very much, man. What is that, 5 pounds? Those are pounds?
Yeah.
All right. He says, trade safe, people. Love BBT. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you very, very much. All right, let's scroll on down. Apple, we do have. That's good. Any we looked at, I have it as a possible. Oxy. Let's take a look at Oxy. Oxy, yeah, not really. No volume there right now. Neo. Let's take a look at Neo this morning. We'll take a look at Baba. Neo, man, Neo's, daily's trying to hold here, but not really in play today, guys. Volume is extremely light on Neo. 241. Could be a lot for other tickers, not for Neo. They need more than that. Baba looks good, guys. We're back again at this level of support here. So I do like this here. 1.8, down 1.8 right now, 280,000 shares traded. I wish the volume was a little bit higher. I think Baba's worth taking a look at. We'll put that one on there. APRN, this is Apron, right? I'm not a big fan of this stock. This stock trades a little funky. Look at the action yesterday. Look at this. So I don't know what news broke out. It's just one of these weird trading stocks. I mean, they made a lot of noise when... I think it's a food delivery company, right? I think it is. Yeah. Something like that. They made a lot of noise, obviously, with COVID last year and all that. But I don't know. Not sure about this. All right, guys, let's take it over to YouTube. Let's see what we have here. I see a couple of stuff. PLTR, which Courtney, you just threw out, also being thrown out on YouTube as well. So let's take a look at that. PLTR this morning, they're pretty much flat right now. Is that flat? Yeah, they're pretty much sitting. Is that the previous day close line they're on? Yeah, they're literally. I was looking for the previous day close line. I couldn't find it. It's because the red line is literally right on it. So there it is. So they're pretty much flat right now. Again, volume 300,000. They had a great day yesterday. Maybe a possible continuation, but that's, I guess, a big possible there. We'll put it here for now. It does have some potential if it can get going. BNGO off of YouTube. Let's see what we got here. Monica is giving us that one. BNGO right now. Volume is not looking great. Pre-market actually is not looking interesting neither here. And it's okay, guys. I know you guys are throwing some stuff that does not look great. It's because there's not a lot that looks great this morning. So I know you're picking the best of the best, and the best of the best is not. It's looking like pretty much somewhat garbage today, and that's okay. We're gonna have one of those days where we might have only 2 or 3 tickers, and that's absolutely fine. We might even go to some favorites like Apple we have on here, AMD. We'll watch Neo, AMC. What is AMC up to? That was very active and fun yesterday. You know what? I'll add an AMC on here. AMC will be one to watch, so we'll put that on there as well. Fuel cell. I looked at fuel cell. I don't see anything good here, guys. So nothing fun there. FSR. Actually, I think I missed FSR from our chat room as well. I think somebody threw that on there, and I might have skipped through all the messages there. FSR down 2.3, 221,000 shares traded. I mean, it's better than what we have here, which is nothing. So we'll look at that. OPAD, we do have INRT. We do have, guys, these are all down here. Again, it looks like all the volume has gone to these stocks here. Nobody else is trading the mid to large flow stocks. That's what it looks like this morning. Neo, we have us.
Market's still quiet. I mean,
yeah.
Even though we've passed Labor Day and unofficial into summer, the market still takes a while to get cranking. We're kind of in just no man's land here. It happens often. We missed it last year because we had moves with COVID and everything going on, but it's not uncommon to have a little bit of a quiet time. It's really October when it starts to pick up good again. So.
Yep. Agree. TMC, guys, is down here, so we have that one up. Again, all of these, right, they're up. This one 38%, 5.7 million shares traded. OPAT up 32. INRT, I mean, these are all very, very active with tons of volume. We'll see how they play out today. All right, guys, let's stop here. This will give us also a little bit more time to see if anything else pops up that has volume or is going to be good for today. Let's go over to our announcements. And actually, I want to just make sure I update this because we do have something for next week listed here.
And you know what? I forgot.
Yeah.
So, John G, thank you. Today is also Yom Kippur. So there's a lot of people out.
Oh, no wonder.
I usually call that out. Somehow I missed. I'm not feeling great this morning, guys. That's why I've been kind of quiet. John's taking over my time this morning, but that makes my 11 a.m. But so I'm not on top of my game as much as I usually am. But yes, it's Yom Kippur, so it'll be.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. That would definitely do it. All right, guys, let's stop here. Let's go to our community events and announcements, and we'll come back and see what we can find here.
All right. So, thank you for you've cleaned this up for me, man.
Yeah, man, there's some stuff in there.
Have Andrew's 920 trade book, Brian's 920 trade book trade webinar next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Going to be presented by Andrew. Mindfulness routine by Nada from last night will be posted soon if it's not up already. And then Wednesday, double dose of Andrew next week. Tuesday, he's going to be doing that 920 webinar. And then Wednesday, he's going to be doing the town hall with Dr. Katz. So looking forward to that. Should be a big week. As we have already mentioned, all the super chat donations and all the BBT family giving donations going to Cure Childhood Cancer. Great organization, top rated by Charity Navigator, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So hopefully we can do a lot and help those kids out. If you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade with entries and exits, of course, then add as much commentary as you can to describe the trade. Posted on Twitter, tagging at Bearable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We'll announce the winner each afternoon on Twitter and in the room, and then all the trades of the day are voted on by the team over the weekend and released on Monday. All right. If you are watching on YouTube, haven't been in the chat, first of all, we sincerely appreciate it when you hit that like button. It really does help out the channel with the algorithms, help people find it. But if you'd like to give the chat room a try, use the promo code PREMARKET24. Go to bearabletraders.com, the homepage, scroll down, and you'll see that test drive button. Click that at checkout. Use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room, after which it cancels. It will not bill you again. You have to choose a membership type to continue on. And if you want to get access to all those great webinars and a double dose of Andrew next week, use that promo code SUMMER40. It's actually still active, and I got to take that off this slide, but you can still use it. It's not on the site anymore, but the code is still active. So.
All right, thank you, Norm. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let's take a look here. We have BABA on here. Looks interesting on the daily. We have AMC. We also have FSR. So those are the top ones I have here, man. I'm not excited about them at all. Secondary list, we do have NEO, which again, just not really in play right now. Any is on here. We do have Apple. I'm actually going to move Apple up. I'm going to watch some of these stocks that, they can get volume. Apple actually did very well yesterday. LSID today, they're starting to, to get going here. Looks like they want to break out of this area. That could be interesting. LSID, maybe we'll move this up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Let's see. Can PLTR do something here? Maybe PLTR. Again, I feel like my main list is a bunch of possibles today, and that's okay. I just got to go into the trading day understanding that these are not great tickers here, and I'm going to have to be patient, right? So we have BABA, AMC, FSR, Apple, and LSID, and then PLTR. What do we have going on here? PLTR. Possible breakout here, so that's good. Any is breaking down, and then here, guys, here's where the action is this morning. These lower and riskier stocks right now, all low flow, they're very, very active. Just be careful here. I know there's someone out there trying to find a bottom on IRNT, hoping that it can get back to 60, right? So just be very careful. Like these little areas here where you see this kind of support happening, and you think, oh, well, they've got a green candle. Let's go long here. Just make sure you have your stop in place. Make sure you're taking the right amount of risk. That you're putting on the number of shares that you can afford to take on this trade. When we say afford, we're talking about mentally and also financially, right? You don't want to hurt your account, and you also don't want to put yourself in such a stressful situation that you trigger yourself breaking rules. That's what happens. You put yourself in situations where you trigger yourself to break your rules, right? You go down $500. Well, I'm already down $500. What's another 500? You know what? Whatever. And then you're down $1,000, and then it just snowballs from there. So don't put yourself in those situations that can trigger you to act, out of your trading, your professional trading status, right? Very important. So there's some action down here, guys. So we'll check those out. But yeah, let's start off with BABA. BABA at the moment, again, I like their drop here. I like the fact that we're back at this area of support where we found a bounce of support on, and that bounce was pretty nice the following day with a nice big gap up. We tested that yesterday, and we're here at it again, down 1.9. Are we going to break down from here is the question, or are we going to find support again? 154.82 is the low of the pre-market at the moment. If I go back here to the left, when's the last time we've been down here to 150? Looks like it's been some time. And it's just gonna just go a little bit more. Oh, there it is. 2019 May June time frame. We're going to put this one here, 147. Just gonna get another level down here. I received a question. I think it was an email or a message, and since we got time, I'll answer it now. How far back do you go to find daily levels and what is relevant? And really, I mean, you can go back as far as you want. Like something like this is 2019, right? That's pretty relevant. I'm sure this level is going to be something that people might be watching. But we've been to a situation where we go back to a level like in 2008 where stocks were in the garbage at that time, right? After that. And we find levels there that seem to act well even now. So it all depends. I think what matters is if there's people looking for a level and that's the only level they have there, there's nothing in between, you might be surprised someone is marking that levels. Because remember, these levels here are not being created by themselves. They're being created by us, all of us traders, looking at the history and marking these levels down, right? So also keep that in mind. So here's BABA, guys. A high of the pre-market at the moment on BABA is going to be 156.94. So I'm going to slam a level there. And I think we're pretty much set on it right now. Let's head down to AMC. AMC was great yesterday. Very choppy pre-market action this morning and very light volume. So this one is on here, but we do have to wait for this to actually do something, right? This thing is not in play at the moment. 46.11 is the high of the pre-market. I'm sorry, the low of the pre-market. The high of the pre-market over at 46.60. And then you're kind of stuck between the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You can see that right on there. Towards the bottom, we do have a level right here at 45.33. Again, yesterday was very exciting, guys. We got a beautiful drop all the way down to 44, and then a recovery right back to end the day green. So that's a big move from AMC yesterday. I'm not sure we're going to get that today again, but I'm hoping that that volume comes in as it did yesterday and can take this stock in one direction or another for us to take advantage of. So again, not really in play right now. We're just waiting for the action to come in and see if we can take advantage of it. FSR this morning, again, this is more of a possible, but there's not much to look at today. Top 12,080 cents is the low of the pre-market. The high is over at 13.11. We'll slam a level there. Towards the top, guys, you pretty much cover. Look at the tons of levels you have up there. And then towards the bottom, if we're to lose this 1280, we have not been down here since May, June time frame. So we're going to go here. Nice level here over at a 1226. So we'll slam a level right on there, guys. Area of resistance and support. That is looking very good. That 1226 level right on there. Next, we have Apple. So Apple, again, also traded very decent yesterday. Low of the pre-market, 148.25 on the daily. Let's see what we have as far as levels. Hold on, let's remove some of this stuff. There we go. Low of the pre-market, 148.25. And then I think you're pretty much set, guys. If you look at Apple right now, there's levels all over the place. On the top, on the bottom, highs and lows, previous day close. I think you're taken care of there. Do not need to add anything more. Do not make this complicated. LSIT this morning, I like where they're heading here, guys. Looking pretty good in the pre-market right now. Look at the daily. We have an area coming up here at 2058, which we're trying to break out of. So again, we did break out of this other previous level of support, which is down here by the previous day close line, which is at around 1991. And now we're looking to head higher and break the next level, hopefully, this 2058. So this is looking pretty good right now. Definitely getting some action. Towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels, as we mentioned before. Down here, you're pretty much set. Look at all the levels you have, highs and lows, previous day close. All that is in there for you. Towards the top, another level over at 2087. We'll slam one there. And then right up here, guys, 2146, another great level for us to look at. Volume is looking good, guys. This thing is breaking out nicely out of 2838 there. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. Definitely one that's getting very active. NEO still possible, not really much going on there. Again, you have the volume here, 1.2 million, but not doing a whole lot. And then you have PLTR here, which is also not looking great this morning. All right, let's go over to our risky stuff today here. We have INDP, guys, 5.8 million right now, kind of dropping down a bit. Yesterday, this thing was very active. IRNT also 4.1 million, again, very, very active. We can do some levels for this here. Levels for this, you got to be careful with the levels. I don't put too much weight on levels on these type of stocks because the price action is king when it comes to these lower price, not lower price, lower risk, lower flow and riskier stocks, right? You got to be very careful. In the pre-market action right now, we do have 49.97, 46.21, and then we have 39.90, which is the low of the pre-market, and we're getting another base here at 41.71. Again, guys, be very careful with the daily levels on these type of stocks. I prefer to look at what is the level 2 doing, what is the price action doing, how's the order flow, and what is the volume coming in? Are we beating the previous candle on a green or red candle, right? So it's very, very important. The levels at times can be very, very tricky. You might find people trying to, as I mentioned earlier, trying to take a bounce of this 1246 just because they have a level here. And again, the price actually is not showing anything and the volume is not showing anything. So be very, very careful on these type of stocks. INDP, you do have your high of your pre-market at 14.57. Right in the price action right now, you do have an area of support and resistance. A lot of touches right on there on that 1228 So you see that there. And then outside that, you have this huge, look at the high from yesterday, 28.75, all the way up there. I don't think you have anything in between here that's significant. Besides this one here, 17.65. OPAD this morning. Now this is we don't have a whole lot of info on this, but this is again just starting to get active now. I think it's a SPAC that's coming into play, similar with TMC. So again, we have these on here. Just be very careful, guys, with these. They're very, very risky, and they can move quite a bit. All right, I see some people throwing out CLOV. CLOV. Let's take a look. It's popping up. Club could be fun to trade, guys. This could be a good one to trade. All right, so we did get some action here. Almost 500,000 shares traded at this 5-minute candle. So that's definitely something worth taking a look at. Pre-market action has 1.1 million shares traded right now. I think that creates our last stock here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that does complete this one. As far as levels, high of the pre-market just created a few minutes ago over at 850. We'll slam a level there. Above that, we do have 880, which is the highs from 2 days ago, right on the great area of resistance as well. You can see how many days we're slamming into that, trying to get above that. And then if we look over here, we do have 909 as well, another level towards the top. A little bit of resistance happening here. A couple of days opening and closing right around that 909 area. So looking good right now. I'm not sure what is the news, but it looks like it has some activity at the moment. All right, 9:10, and you could tell it's going to be a rough day because it's 9:10, and I only have 2 moderators lineups set up at the moment. So again, there's slim pickings out there today, guys, and that is okay. Know the market that you're trading and be very careful. There comes Tiffany with hers. All right, so as soon as we get a few more, I'll bring that over. We can start going over that. Quick recap on what we have right now. We do have BABA. We have AMC on here, which was great yesterday. We had amazing trades on that. FSR. Apple is a good one. LSID as well. LSID starting to get going here, getting above that 2080. Let's see if that can stick there. The daily is interesting because we've been consolidating in this range between 19 and 20ish, 2050 or so for some time after this massive gap down. If you guys remember that, we covered nice a little bit in the last 3 days. We're all 3 days after that, all green. Let's see if we're looking to break out of that range this morning. And then we have CLV, which is just developing a pre-market action right now with some amazing volume coming in. Let's see where this takes us in a few minutes. All right, there we go. We got our moderators lineup. Let's take a look over here. Let's resize this and bring this over. As I am doing this, guys, if you have not done so already on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up. It means the world to us. We only have, well, not only, that's actually pretty good. 259 likes. Oh, 258. Somebody took off their like. They put it back. Okay, 259 likes. If we can get 350, 400, we are happy campers over here. And again, it means a whole lot to us, guys, over here as we're doing these streams over on YouTube to have those likes and grow our channel and mess with the YouTube algorithms. All right, let's bring this over. And here's what we have at the moment. So, Eamon, potential longs today. Apple. AMD, Oxy, and CAN risky on CAN. CAN has such a huge drop yesterday. I won't be surprised if they try to recover a little bit today. Potential shorts, XOM, Microsoft, and MRO. He's also advising that one is a risky one, so be careful. Here's Tiffany's list, very, very tight. Apple, LSID, and Microsoft. Here's Dima's list, even tighter, just Apple. And then Peter's got some IPOs for today, ACT and I almost said Frog, FORG there, and the SPAC Fly AU. Thor is looking at Apple because Eamon is watching it. LSID, SPY, and a secondary list, Beyond the Meat, Space, and Delta Airlines, DAL, there for him. So, all right, we'll wait for the rest of the moderators to kind of come up with their list there and send that over, and then we'll bring that back in just a few here. So, again, guys, I have 6 tickers here. Normally, if I was not looking at so many, I would probably just have like 2 or 3. It's not a lot that looks great. A lot of these are more possibles, but we'll look at 6 and see where it goes. So I have levels for these ready, but a lot of these sitting on this list that is my main list as of this morning. A lot of these are just great possibles, if that. So again, don't feel like you have to have all these tickers on your list. It's not necessary. 338 likes. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate that very, very much. That helps us out and goes a long way on our end. Yeah, Chris, not a stellar day so far. I completely agree. And Brian has no DAS today. All right, so Brian's communicating. He has computer problems and no DAS at the moment. So maybe we can have him come on and just dance for us or something instead of trade this morning. We'll figure something out for Brian to do for us today. Watch list for Peter is Apple, AMD. Secondary list CLOV, IRNT, INDP, and also OPAD this morning. Again, all of these here, guys, they're all extremely active. Just look at the number of shares were being traded here: 6.3, 4.2, 6 million, 6.6, all up in the double digits, 20, 40, 38, 35% up this morning. These things are on fire for sure. Again, just the best advice I can give you here is just don't go past your stop loss on these things, and watch the number of shares you take. Very, very, very important, because if you do that, these stocks can treat you very, very harshly. They can drop 45 from 44 to from 45, 46 to 43, as you did here in a couple of minutes. That is, that's a couple of bucks. You take a good sized number of shares there, you're going to be paying a big price. So just be careful on that. We say that a lot because I know you sound like a broken record, but you got to see the stories we hear on a constant basis of traders, not sticking to their stops and digging a huge hole for themselves and blowing up their account. It happens. So this is why we stress that quite a bit, especially for newer traders. Be very, very careful. All right, folks, 9:15. Is Brian going to come on and just sip on tequila with us and just hang out? If not, we'll wait for Andrew, and maybe we can get another moderator to come up here and trade for Brian. Let's see if I can get someone in here to do this. Maybe our main man Thor this morning, if he's able to. And we can get that going. All right, guys, hang tight. We're just waiting for the transition to happen. Not Brian, but Andrew and Thor will be joining us live. So Thor's just confirming now. He will definitely hop in. I'll send him a link at this moment. They'll be joining us live in a second for the live trading. So sit tight as we do that transition. I'm gonna get Thor his link so he can call in and we can get this show started. So right over here. As I do this, just hang tight, guys. And here it is, Brian. 6. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Oops. Hold on, Thor. That's not the link. I'm going to send you the correct one. I sent you the wrong one. It is going to be this one here, my friend. You're all good to go. All right, guys. Quick recap what we have before Andrew and Thor hop on. So we have Baba here again bouncing off this 154 low of the pre-market. AMC, I'm really looking at AMC. I think this is probably one of the better stocks this morning. Traded very well yesterday. I like the drop I'm seeing now, heading back to the low of the pre-market. This is good here. Volume is starting to pick up, and we're starting to see some really good trading. Notice when we have no volume here, just pure garbage, we're getting some good trading here now. FSR is really more of a possible, guys. I mean, I like the bounce we're getting here, but we'll just have to see where this ends up. Apple, definitely pushing some volume around now, guys. 855,000 shares traded. Nice little drop here coming into the bottom, so that looks good. LSID also breaking out of this 2058, guys, so that is looking very nice there. And their daily looks interesting. Possible move to 2087 and 2046 if we really mean this push up here. CLOV came in with some last minute volume here. Nice little pop. It's definitely got our attention at this moment. 1.3 million shares traded, up 2.4. Definitely want to see where that's going to go today. Looking really good this morning. So good morning, Thor. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm awesome, Carlos. How are you doing today, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Appreciate you jumping on last minute there to save
no worries. No worries. Pinch hitter. I'm always on deck. I'm ready. Let's have some fun.
Excellent. Well, wait for Andrew. What is your watch list today? I see you have Apple, LSIT, SPY, BYND Space, and Delta Airlines. So if you can kind of speak what you like about those this morning.
So the main ones that I'm really dialed in on this morning, SPY has been in play for the past couple of days, and that's where I've been making the majority of my money. But Apple's in a really interesting spot. It's got good volume in it, and LCID also has a lot of good volume in it. So those are really the three main tickers I'm going to be watching. Delta had a big institutional buy yesterday that was interesting, so I've got that on secondary just to see if something else happens there. And then And that's really about it. Hey, boss man, how are you doing?
I am
Excellent, guys.
doing well. How are you guys? Thank
Good
you
morning,
so
Andrew.
much.
I'm gonna hop off, guys, and I'll see you guys later in the chat. Take care.
Take
Hey,
care.
thanks, Carlos.
Thank you, Thor. Appreciate that. The IRNAT is popping back up again. See what that one up to. Oh, what a day yesterday.
Yeah, it's got pretty much the most volume out of anything this morning. Order flow has been really consistent on in the pre-market. So spread gets a little weird every now and again on it. I've seen it run up to a 30-cent spread. But I mean, once this thing opens, I know yesterday you guys crushed this thing.
Perfect. So what's your watch list? Apple, LCID.
Yeah, LCID's got a lot of volume this morning. Apple's in a really nice spot on its daily and did a big hammer yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays. So, but yeah.
Right. So is Brian joining us today or no?
I'm not sure. I was in here and Carlos said something about we need someone else to hop on or something. So, you give me a link, I hop on.
Thank you so much.
But if he comes into the link, it should just butt me out and let him right in. So we'll see what happens.
It's interesting because I've never actually traded with you.
That's true.
At the open, yeah. You usually cover for me, yeah. Brian broke his Pentium 3 computer. Oh my god. Anyways, so IRNAT, that one is interesting. BBIG is doing some stuff.
Oh, I think I see Brian's link pop up in. All right, if Brian's here, I can hop out if Brian's here. Just putting it.
Brian, heads up, Brian, you have to log off from the mute the chat room, turn your mic off there, and go to your regular link on vMix, and you'll be able to join.
All right, I'm gonna hang up.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's TMC up to? OPAD and TMC. OPAD is also interesting. TMC is also interesting, but they're selling off. So what I see here is a lot of these small ones running up. Apple, not much going on yet. Indaptus, INDP, this one was a crazy run yesterday, sold off. I don't know, this one is, I don't know if it's trustable or not, so this pop today. IRNAT. Oh, a screen share, definitely. Sorry about the screen share. Thank you so much. Screen share, that's your servicers, and my camera should be working as well. So we're gonna make good money today on AMC's doing nothing. IMDP for the break of 13 would be interesting. You guys can switch to my screen. Everyone can switch to my screen from Carlos' screen. BBIG. I don't know why Vile is pumping BBIG like that, but I don't see something amazing in BBIG, to be honest with you. So IRNAT, independent LCID. LCID is also interesting. Definitely daily had the broken. So I think I'm going to watch LCID. OPAD is interesting. Clove, meh. AMC today's a little bit meh. BBIG, I'm not really interested about BBIG, to be honest with you. On the daily chart, it's gapping down. How many shares do we have? We have a good amount of shares. IRNAT is interesting. That float is really low, huh? 60 million, the volume is 4.8. Yeah, so this is going to be my watch list. I think it's could be good enough. LCID, INDP, AMC, Clove, OPAD, TMC, LCID. I think that's so all of them are good. So that is going to be my watch list. Which one I'm keen? INDP is interesting for the break above 13 if it doesn't move up too much. The scan is complete. So one of them, definitely the interesting one would be INDP. If it doesn't run up too much at the open, potential open range break up. Obviously, we don't have shares for sure. The next one would be LCID. I think that is interesting. It's already running up too much. It's already up, but I'll see how it does at the open. Do we have shares for short? We do have tons of shares for short on LCID. Clove, no, IRNT is below the VWAP. As long as it's below the VWAP, I'm not really keen to trade IRNT for open range breakup. The other one was OPAD, was interesting, huh? OPAD, OPAD. OPAD is also interesting. I actually like OPAD. For the break, the spread is okay now. That has a really nice, yeah, it's a recent IPO, popped up. Obviously, the high of pre-markets, there's 1740. I'll see how it goes. There's another level here that's 16. OPAD is interesting if it trades well. I don't know how it's going to trade. Beyond is down, Baba is down, Win is down. So if Brian still have the problem with his computer, maybe you can jump back in there. Feel free to jump back in there if you want, Thor, or anyone else. How's YouTube people doing? Good morning, YouTube folks. INDP is interesting if it holds the VWAP for open range breakup.
Well, I figured I'd pop back on for a minute, and if Brian ends up getting it going, I'll dive back out. So,
yeah, well, thank you so much.
Hey, of course. I was kind of stoked. I was like, all right, we're gonna have a little trading fun this morning. Let's do this.
Well, that's the first time Thor and I are trading together. So, what are you watching, Thor? Let me take a look at.
I'm kind of Apple, kind of what you were talking about, actually. LCID, Apple, I think both look really interesting. So I don't need much more than that. I've been playing SPY a lot the past couple of days, so I'll probably keep an eye on SPY and then the leveraged version, and then we'll see if we can make something happen. Had a good couple of days the past couple, so I'm not looking to be too aggressive today. So I might just hang and let things shake out for a few minutes, and then start taking some trades. So
yeah, no,
I know
nice.
Eamon is already long in Apple. I think from earlier today, he got it off the pre-market and got a good move on it already, but it looks like it's coming back down a bit. So the SPY is really, I'm really looking to see what SPY does around previous day close and then this 448.50 level. It's been trying to bounce back up into that level for 3 or 4 days now, and it rejects down. Then yesterday it bought back up onto it in good volume. So the SPY could be strong today, but we're going to, it might bounce around in here in this, for a half hour to an hour before it picks a direction. But it'll be interesting to watch. It's kind of a pivot area here, just above S3.
This Lucid is really running up down, which is not great.
It's got like a bid chasing it at like 2060 that keeps coming up. So maybe at the open it pulls back down to somewhere around like 2060, and then maybe we get a chance at it. It's so far extended though, I'd have trouble going long in it now. It's just so up.
All right, so guys, so the market is open.
Good luck, everybody. Ding, ding.
Keep an eye on INDP. OPAD, no volume yet. AMC popped up above the VWAP, so that's an opportunity. See if you can get that. IMDP. OPAD, no volume yet. INDP popped up, damn it.
SPY is selling a little bit at the open here.
INDP is going to go through 14 without giving us a good chance, unfortunately. See what it does at R4. Ask big. Yeah, it's really nice. Damn it, it's going to go. It's always obvious. I was thinking of buying on this pullback, but I had to wait for a minute. It's very strong. What's the daily chart look like? Oh, crazy, huh? Let's see if you can get another chance on it. This pullback might be interesting for buy. A little bit extended policy.
Watching LCID here to see if it.
I'm taking a small buy on INDP. See if this 14 can go a little bit higher. See if you can go make a pop. Selling some here at 1444. Up 1460 for 1 minute to be in range break up. Let's go through 15. 1489. Let's see if we can break 15. INDP. As you see, guys, my screen, let's see if this 15. These round numbers recently become like a mess that you can never really push through them. So it already seems that it's already trying to leak. LCID is doing nothing. IRNAT. Yeah, I'm going to hold a little bit to see if you can get through 15. Brian is along AFRM. OPAD, nothing, didn't get really much. So yeah, INDP might actually drop from 15. I'm getting out of it. I'm all out on it. I kind of, these round numbers, I see that in these stocks, these round numbers become like a wall.
Long Apple, 148.50.
Nice, 148.50 Apple. The Apple looks like a good
VWAP.
Yeah, very, very nice. No shares for short on INDP, huh? That would have been a really good short if you can get some short on it. Nothing. Nope, not getting filled. AMC is garbage. Nice pop on Apple. LCID popped up. SPY went green.
There we go. Partial Apple, 148.80. Nice 30 cents there.
So this one, the technical damage is happening on INDP. I'm going to wait on then. This one is interesting. IRNAT for a potential fallen angel. What do we have here down here? It's really nice.
Looking for pre-market high for next partial.
Very nice trade on Apple. Beautiful. Oh, you got to be careful on IRNAT. It's just it was very, very scary. INDP is coming back up. I don't know if I can trust this breakout on it because of the technical damage. I was thinking of taking a long on IRNT as a potential fallen angel, but I think I kind of missed the move. LCID is still strong. Yeah, I kind of missed the move on it. AMC wants to go up. Taking a long on AMC at 46.60. This one I was going to go long on.
Partial Apple hit pre-market high.
Very nice. Apple might go green.
That limit order sitting there, it wicked right up and snagged it. That was great.
IRNT is popping up like a boss. Damn it. Gotta get halted, huh? I was thinking of going long on this one, but let's see what AMC is doing. 45.60. What am I doing on AMC? I'm getting out of my AMC. Getting out of my AMC. I don't like the price action on AMC today, at least now. INDP is doing some stuff. Popping back. Taking another long on INDP at 14. Let's see if this one. Be mindful of your share size on this. See if this one can go up a little bit. Looks like it wants to, but the technical damage has been really, really crazy on it. Popped up 14.30, selling some. It might not go back up to 15, but long at 14. The technical
SPY's got a lot of
damage
downside volume coming in.
Yeah, this is dangerous. This drop is dangerous. So I'm holding a little bit to see if it can go back for the high of the day. It looks like it wants to. I'm adding a little bit more on it. It looks like I'm adding a little bit more on it. Let's see for the break of 15. Now, see if we can break the 15. I'm adding a little bit more on it. I think we're gonna break. No. Oh no. That I'm getting out of it. Damn it. Fuck. That bastard. It's gonna sell off. I think. That was a bad loss. That is complete manipulation at 15. You know, they bring it right at the 15, not even touch even a second on that. I lost really bad on it. I lost 20 grand on it. Shit. Yeah, that's the complete manipulation of the price. They know what they're doing. I should have added. I should have got out. Oh. Yeah, this is absolutely garbage. AMC looks like it wants to go back up. So I'm getting back long on AMC. See if AMC would go up.
Got a little long going off of VWAP on SPY here.
Let's see if AMC can. Adding a little bit more on AMC. See if AMC wants to go green. That garbage. You know, when Brian says technical damage on this INDP, that dropped like exactly to the 15. You know, that's not a pullback. It's just a technical damage. You know, it's sold off in a way that OPAD sold off really bad. INRIT also sold off.
Partial SPY at previous day's close.
Let's see if AMC can go green. that AMC can go green. Yeah, AMC is also really meh. Come on, AMC, you can do it. On the daily chart, we have a bunch of levels, but today is one of those days for AMC. Look at these weeks. Yeah, it's a big day for AMC. Apple selling off.
Out the rest of my SPY position. It was just a little bounce.
Iron IT selling off really bad. Yeah, today is a horrible day for AMC. I'm getting out of it. It's a horrible day for AMC. Just 5-minute candlestick. It's just pure garbage. Absolutely garbage. Oh, fuck, man. I lost really bad today. Yeah. I mean, INDP was kind of my own fault. I should have added. I added a lot on back up to 1480. I mean, I got a good entry, and I should have exited completely. Like this, the high of the day is exactly at 15. So they kind of know, they kind of brought the price up, and then they're dumping their shares on it. It's just absolute manipulation. I should have been more. To be honest with you, I had a good day. The first trade was really nice. I really shouldn't have messed around with it. I don't think I can ever recover from this loss. So CFOS trade, the technical damage is, when you're trading, INDP, so the first one was a really nice opening range breakup. But do you see this candlestick from 15 all the way up to 1320? If you want an ABCD pattern, you need a pullback. This drop, it's called there's something seriously wrong up there. The buyer's hand are so weak up there, or the sellers are so strong up there that you got to be really, really careful. So that Brian says a technical damage. So for the next run, this is really not a pullback that wants to go for the high of the day. You got to be really careful that there was a collapse here. That's. I'm taking another long on AMC. This one is just. Let's see if AMC wants to go up. Either I'm getting chopped up, or it's the third time is a charm. Yeah, so you know what I mean. This is this second try on the break of 15. You have to take a look at this huge horrible thing that it's happening here. Yeah, it's a huge technical damage. Yeah, stay away from AMC. AMC is also garbage today. LCID setting off. Yeah, it's not a day to trade AMC, to be honest. Partial in AMD. Apple is holding this S3 level. What about it getting a long on Apple? I don't know if I can or should. I gotta use a big buying power because this one doesn't move much. AMC finally is moving to previous day close. Let's see if he can hold the green. Obviously, definitely not a great day for AMC, but it's from here. AMC. Oh, that's a nice pop. Some of these stupid loss. Oh, fuck, that was
That's a really
bad.
nice pop there.
Yeah. The third time is a charm. I mean, I could have easily made
Good volume.
Yeah, it did pop up. Obviously, now it might continue going higher. I'll see how it does. This INDP messed up the whole thing. Apple, it seems that it's really holding 148. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to get Apple, but it doesn't move much. You gotta go 100% of buying power too. We should have a leverage ETF for Apple. We should create it. Seriously, that would be nice.
Make a company just doing leveraged ETFs based on regular stocks, just so that
would be really nice.
you can get more movement out of slower performing stocks. Like you could have like a Delta Airlines leveraged ETF or something, because it moves so slow all day, but it always moves.
Yeah, I guess I was going to say Gary. Yeah, just trade options. Does Apple
or
have
options.
3 times options every other day? No, I was thinking of for daily. I think options should have. Yeah, Apple should have. You know, the indexes in Apple, they have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so you can actually trade them really close to day trading. So, Francois, you were right. I was thinking of something that exactly, yeah, I have a little of AMC still left. I don't think AMC is going to do a crazy move today. Today is one of those choppy days. Yeah, I had a really, really bad day on INDP, just 20 grand loss on it. I was up like a couple of grand on it. It's just FNGU and FNGD. What are they? FNGU and FNGD. All the FANG stocks. Oh, it's a good. Yeah. You're right. I've heard about that. Thank you. That's a good. Are they leveraged? The 3 times leverage? FNGU. Micro sectors. FANG index 3 level. Oh, interesting. Who gives them micro sectors provided? Yeah. Jared is taking a long IRNT. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. I got to be careful. I mean, in days like these, when you're down really, really bad, you try to be aggressive on the next trade to come break even, and that's the recipe usually for disaster. You know, I'm really thinking of taking a huge size on IRNT to come out of that green, but you got to also be really careful that this kind of behavior can be very, very self-destructive. So you got to be maybe careful. Then, you know, sometimes you can never get it back. So you got to be really careful. So someone is asking right now, can you just average down? I mean, this is a horrible idea if you average down. If I were staying in my long and I just kept adding, this is not a scaling in, this is averaging down. Why? Because my idea originally was to get a breakout above the VWAP, but now we are losing below the VWAP, so absolutely I have no reason. That's why I got out of 13. It did bounce back here. Maybe I could get at 14, but I don't know. You know, that's why as soon as the broke out the VWAP, this happened, and I said, "Fuck, I'm out of here. If this is, there's no reason." You could potentially wait and sell, stop out on these pullbacks, but waiting to get a pullback to get a stop down is a really, really bad idea. You know, because you may not get it, and you might just continue going lower and lower and lower. So what I can do, I can just keep adding from 15, bring my average to 14, 14, 13, 13, 20, 13, 20, until you run out of buying power and you get a margin call. So that's the definition of averaging down. But the scaling up, this is what I was trying to scale up. So I went there for 1386, popped up, sold a little bit, but I realized that, okay, now this time it might go. I added a little bit too much up there. That's why my average was somehow up here, and then the drop was really bad on me. Um,
Yeah, I think a lot of that has so much to do with like the time frame we live in. We're intraday traders. We're looking to get into positions quickly and get out of positions, and bag holding like that is a technique you can really only use if maybe if you're swing trading, or you're like Warren Buffett, and basically you're not taking a loss until you sell. So you just have unlimited supplies of money, so you can just keep buying the dip. And then sure, maybe that'll work out for you long term. But as a day trader, we're restricted to time, right? We have to be done in a certain amount of time. We have to be done by the end of the day. So you can't just keep buying, because at some point you're going to have to accept that loss. And why not accept that loss while it's small and give yourself an opportunity to get a better trade on a better entry later than continuously adding in and averaging down into that bag hold, eventually causing yourself to just take massive loss. It'll work every so often until it doesn't. And when it doesn't,
and
it
that's the
will
problem.
hurt.
Yeah, that's the problem, Thor. I mean, averaging down usually gets you out 80% of the time at break even. But that 20% time that it doesn't work because you're already averaging up more than what you were expecting, that's the time that it hurts really, really bad. My biggest loss ever has been always when I'm averaging down. It was on Viac telecommunication and one time on Neo, like $120,000 a day type of loss. And
You
it
made a
was just
terrific
all,
analogy. You made a
yeah.
terrific analogy like last week, or maybe it was the week before that, and you kind of akined it to like poker and like anteing in and stuff like that. Like just get into it, see it's going, and if it's not working, get rid of it. And look for something that's better, something that's doing what you want it to do, rather than just trying to force something to work. It doesn't work in gambling of any nature, but especially not stock trading.
Yeah, I
At least
mean,
not for me. I'm never lucky.
all of the traders that I saw, like that stayed in the community, people come and go, and that's part of trading. But the people like Thor, Norm, Carlos, Mike, John, people who really stay as a trader, and they are the people who are mastering their own risk management. All the common thing is they always have the losses.
Yeah, amen, man. Amen's
Amen.
like
Sorry.
a robot at
Kyle,
risk
sorry,
management.
so many of you. I'm sorry.
Man.
So all of you.
Well, no, we've got
Particularly
great
Deepa.
mods in here that all put so much focus on this stuff. It's incredible.
Dima,
I
for
mean,
example, she has my account. She's trading for P Capital. She has an account, and as a prop trader, I can put a lot of limits on her account. I control that account, but I just didn't. She has complete access without any risk management and stuff because I trust her. I trust her risk management. Maybe sometimes she performs really well. Maybe she can't, but I know that she doesn't blow up her account. I know that if she gets in there, she goes smaller. She has a stop loss in place.
Dima's awesome.
Sorry, anyone that I didn't mention. I'm so sorry. Just
He's like, what am I, chopped liver? Come on, man.
Kyle said, AFRM. AFRM is going to 114.
AMC is just deciding what it wants to do today. It's just going to bounce around in between this daily high and like previous day's close.
Yes, welcome, Paras. Welcome. I didn't know you were still coming to the chat room. Paras is making so much money that he's not coming to the chat room anymore. He's been trading 3 years. So Iron AT is popping. I don't dare to trade it, to be honest with you. This is a really, really volatile stock. You got to be really careful. Take 200 shares, you make $500. That's the type of time. INDP. Yeah, no, it was kind of my fault on INDP. This technical damage has already happened. If this one was just a small consolidation, that means that there is a chance up there. But this is obviously showing that there is big wall up there on 15. That somebody's sitting there with a big position to dump. SPY sending off. IWM went red. Yeah, market has no mercy today.
Yeah, the SPY on the daily has been showing building volume to the downside this time. So it looks like this drawdown is at least legit. And it's kind of in
I
that
don't
same
see
area, SMA kind of on the daily. It's kind of bouncing around there, but we got lots of volume coming in here. So it'll be interesting. Maybe get ourselves a good SPY trend down. That would make life really easy if we could get the market to pick a solid direction.
Right, apparently, Brian figured out his thing. So you can probably his jumps on anytime. So except the trade that you did on Apple, what else did you do? You did this long that popped up. Thor? We lost Thor.
We
He was
lost
a
him.
good man.
I think because I think Carlos can only do two of us.
He was a good man.
So yeah, that sucked. I still made money this morning. I still had I swung some AFRM from yesterday. So I get a nice move on that one.
Brian, I got crucified on INDP today.
Like, yeah, I was kind of watching. Yeah, while I was trying to fix this issue. What am I looking at here? PLTR rolling over.
I'm still having this AMC. I don't know if AMC is going to do anything or not, to be honest. Yeah, I doubt today is going to be a day to get anything more than AMC. Still holding it. Stop loss would be breakup VWAP, which kind of it did leak a little bit, but this is a horrible day for AMC. This is definitely, obviously not in play trade for AMC. There's a garbage man right in the balcony here. It wasn't enough in the street. They're coming here. Damn it! I'm getting out of my AMC. It's just not a day for AMC. Iron AT. That was a really nice trade, Jared. I can't hear Brian. I don't know if it's me or not. Brian, I can't hear you. If something happened to you, I don't know if you're still there. We lost Brian too. He was a good man too. He's probably talking to himself, trading for himself. Yeah, Iron AT. That was a good catch. That was a really, really good catch, Jared. That's a really, really good one. What should we do with it? Should we go in there? I'm taking a long on Iron AT. Small size. See if we can get to. It's a bad entry. The better entry would have been a near pullback. I'm small in there. See if we can get this next pop for the break of high of the day. Yeah, I wish I was having a better entry. It might drop. It might drop here at 43. Adding a little bit. Adding a little bit here. Stop loss. You gotta give it some room here in this particular case because this moves a lot. I wish I was getting an entry here at 43. I'm ready to add a little bit if it drops, but not too much. Let's see if we can go break of 45. Come on, break of high of the day. High of the day is at 45.57. So many levels up here. Can somebody text Brian that tell him that we lost him? Oh, he might know actually. See if you can. Definitely heavy resistance up there. Getting out of it slowly. Yeah, I'm all out of it. It's just I don't have trust in this. It did fail a little bit, and I don't have a good entry, so I'm getting out of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I have a bad entry, and again, I don't want to make a decision. I mean, if my entry was right at the VWAP, I could have. It might probably go up, but I just don't want to be chasing it. Yeah, now it's going to go up. Our bastard AMC is now ripping again. Yeah, it's now broke the high of the day again. The entry that the Jared had was just unbelievable. That's it. Jared is down there somewhere like 39. I wanted to take this one from S1 in this pop. I couldn't. SPY selling off. Yeah, this one's probably going to go to 46. Apple selling off. What's Baba up to? Ooh, what's the squeeze on Baba? Wow. Very interesting squeeze. Yeah, see IRNAT, I kind of knew it's going to happen like that. That's why if you're entering around 43, when you see such a technical damage, you get out. But if you're up there chasing it, that's the dangerous part. Yeah, Baba is popping up very nicely. Apple selling off more. Baba is at S4. I gave all the profit back yesterday. Yeah, it comes and goes. That's life. Yeah, so this is a technical damage. So Zarizak, I'm going to mention that today in the recap. The technical damage is when the pattern changes in a way that you're not expecting. For example, when the stock wants to go up, you expect a bull flag or ABCD pattern goes up. There's a consolidation, and then the next move up. But what happens sometimes is the stock goes up. Instead of consolidation, it collapses, and they try to go back up and build that break-off high of the day. That's exactly what happened in INDP. It was a really nice opening range breakup, and then it didn't consolidate here for the next one. It just collapsed from 15 to 13. And that's what I call a technical damage for the next trade. For the next trade, you come here, you did a consolidation for a few days, and then the next move up, It's just you're trying to building on something that is already collapsed once. So you got to, the foundation of your idea might be wrong on this guy, and it's just that's what happens. I will mention that into our recap today. SPY, what's QQQ doing? SPY is selling off. I'll put a chart here. Today I'm going to be on a very, very, very bad mood. People in the office, they got to be really careful because I'm in extremely bad mood. Didn't sleep well. I lost money, and I'm very moody. Q selling off. The coffee better than Baba or something going on. Yeah, it looks like a news or something, isn't it? That would have been a good call option on Baba. You can just buy it, a call at 156. September 17th is tomorrow. What do we have on Baba? 156. We don't have 156 on Baba. We have 157. Expensive. I don't have enough to cover. Really? Am I that broke? I was going to buy and say you don't have enough to cover. Why? I think I have enough money. An interactive broker says you don't have enough to cover. That's not a good. Not a good lesson coming to you. So IRNT, so here's another thing on IRNT. So now it's bouncing back, but again, this is a technical damage on this stock. And, that's just, again, am I going to buy it long again for the breakout? No, because of these two big drop. It looks like it's just a technical damage is happening really bad here. AMC popped up, but again, I'm not in the AMC. It was a hard day for AMC. Baba is moving. Oh man, we set the technical damage, I think, the 5th time today. But we'll explain that again into the chat room. for the seventh time. AMC, yeah, it's running up. I can see that AMC, but I'm not in there, unfortunately. G, great. There's not much order flow on it. Baba. A daily chart. Apple. Yeah, I don't really see anything that has enough liquidity and volume. Anything moving LPT? What TMC did? TMC also never got a really nice. BBIG, yeah, I did mention that. No, the BBIG, I don't see much of an order flow in there. PLTR, PLTR. PLTR is like a nightmare trading, but it had a really good day. Seems like a really, really nice day. INDP is popping. Might go for the highs. INDP is hopping. I don't know if we can hold a VWAP or not, but might be again another pump and dump. It's taking a long on INDP at 13. See if the INDP can do a move on that INDP. Let's see if we can get a little bit of pop above the VWAP on INDP. I might regret doing that, but 13, 15 is my average. I don't know. I'm getting out of it. I agree. Not really. I'm getting out of it. I really don't like messing around with it much. We need a bigger volume to move. It's just the volume is meh. Bros, the problem with the IPOs that I know that IPOs don't have much of a price pattern. What do you want to be traded based on? So that's a little bit of an issue that I have with with IPOs. The chart pattern is not there. There's no volume. I need something that has volume. Like INDP's volume is picking up on it. We'll see. But that's definitely in the VWAP. Range. I don't know if you guys hear that or not. The garbage guy is up here. He's behind my my screen. Yeah, I don't know, guys. How's the YouTube guys doing? Well, I appreciate all the likes and subscribe, guys. We appreciate that. Oh, Corey, I have to jump myself into the garbage truck. I am garbage. I'm down 16 grand. Why did you add on INDP? Microsoft Qs are really weak. Apple is selling off. I know QQQ is selling off. Everything is kind of selling off. INDP is struggling. Apple took another leg down. Maybe we can take a good reversal on these tech companies somehow. See what Baba is doing. Baba is still struggling. Okay, YouTube guys, thank you so much. We appreciate the support, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Cheers. Okay, so Brian, you came directly, huh?